The time it takes to get a divorce is directly related, and I'll say this in other areas as well when we talk about cost, but the time to get divorce is directly related to the emotion associated with the process. So I have completed divorces by sitting at a table, and we're done in a couple weeks. And I have finished divorces after 2 years of heavy lifting litigation with a judge making the decision for you. The time it takes is going to be affected by how candid everyone is being with their assets, how fair everyone is being with sharing information, and how reasonable everyone is being in understanding the position of the other side so that a compromise can be found. As a quick overview of how the divorce process works, once you have decided to proceed with the divorce, you file a complaint. 35 days or so thereafter, your spouse will respond to that complaint. At that point, you are in the litigation process. The court will schedule a few court appearances before you have your first mediation. That first mediation comes approximately 6 months after you file the complaint for divorce. That is the first of many. The first one is where you can probably get the best sense of how your case is going to move forward, and more importantly, what you're missing, what you still need to do. Thereafter, you're going to go to a few more mediations. The goal in New Jersey is to have a trial or a completion of the divorce within 12 months of the filing date. That is possible, and that is encouraged, but that is easier said than done sometimes. Depending on if you need experts involved, whether it's custody or forensic evaluations of an asset, that timeline can be broadened significantly. So the more you come prepared with information that allows documents to be gathered, the faster that process will go for you. If you are unable to resolve the issue of custody and parenting time without the court assistance, then you will file an application, or it may not be till the end of your case when you go to trial, and the court will have to look at the statutory factors in deciding how custody and parenting time is going to be defined. The court's going to look at a series of factors which are predominantly the best interests of the child. That's going to deal with the issue of custody. Then they're going to look at parenting time, and they're going to determine the right schedule for the child based upon the historic schedule and everyone's ability going forward. A lot of gray area exists when parties come in and they want to kind of sit in the past where maybe dad worked as a police officer and he worked a lot of overtime, and mom was a stay-at-home mom, and therefore it's mom's position that she should have the children on a full-time basis and dad maybe every other weekend. Dad obviously is going to take a contrary position. The court is not going to sit in the past. The court is going to look at what is everyone's capability going forward. Because going forward, the court's going to anticipate that mom is going to become a full-time working mother, and that dad may have to cut back on his overtime in order to spend quality time with the children. So when the court is deciding custody and parenting time, they're going to look at the best interests of the children in the prism of how you historically acted, but more importantly, how you anticipate acting going forward, and how much time you anticipate having to devote to the rearing of the children. The last place you want to be is a courtroom. Whether it's custody, whether it's money, whether it's any other issue, it's the last place you want to be. But if you have to be in a courtroom, it is incredibly important to be organized. So when we present any picture, but in this context, a financial picture, but any picture, you always want to break it down so it's limited and organized. By way of example, if I am presenting a financial picture to a court before a trial, because I need some temporary support, let's say, I may have 25 exhibits, each exhibit being 1 or 2 pages. Because all I'm doing is I'm just trying to paint a picture to the court so the court can understand what your family dynamic is. How did you live? How did you afford what you had? How did you spend your summers? Where did you vacation? And I want to show the judge that not only in your written word, but also through documents, through proofs that here's our Disney trip. If I'm then going to trial, I'm going to take those 20 pieces of paper and I'm going to expand them. So maybe I showed Disney on a single credit card statement because we went in 1 month. But for a trial, I'm going to show 12 months worth of that credit card statement because I'm giving the picture of the full family dynamic for a year, maybe 2 years. When we work with you to prepare, whether it's for the temporary conversation or the final conversation, we will work with you on a small scale so that it's very organized and understood to create the big picture. Because when you tell the story of your life, it's my job to make sure you can justify, support, and prove it. There are some lawyers who are going to tell you that you have to settle your case at mediation, and that is a great goal. You should absolutely want to settle your case at mediation, or better yet, sitting the 4 people at a table, 2 lawyers, 2 clients, sitting down and settling your case. If I had to choose mediation over trial, I would choose mediation every day because you are in control of your life. You are making the decisions. You are deciding who's getting your child on Tuesday night. You are deciding where you can each live. You are deciding who's going to run the business. But I am also a realist, and I understand that not every person can sit at a table, just the 4 of them, or add a mediator and have 5 people, and come up with those solutions, because I also understand that there is significant emotion that lives in the world of family law. So with that said, from day one, I prepare you to go to court because I would not be helping you if I didn't prepare you to have those conversations. If you go to court and a court is making the decisions for you, then we help you to prepare your testimony. We help you to prepare your documents, and we help you to prepare your case so that you get the best outcome. If you're looking towards the next step of your family dynamic and you're wondering how and where to go forward, you want to consider that this process can be very short if it's amicable and if 4 people can sit at the table and or with a mediator, or it can be drawn out if 2 parties can't seem to get past their emotion. So from your planning perspective, you should plan to have all your documents together, plan to be candid, plan to be reasonable, but plan for the long term. If you need help with that plan, give us a call at Jersey Coast Family Law.